What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV, fresh from Molineux last night. Finished 2-2, and obviously Tottenham won on penalties. Today we're going to be going through the Carabao Cup fourth round draw. We're going to be going through a match review as well. But let's start off with the Carabao Cup fourth round draw. In full, it's Chelsea at home to Southampton, Arsenal at home to Leeds, Stoke at home to Brentford, West Ham at home to Manchester City, Leicester at home to Brighton, Burnley at home to Tottenham, QPR at home to Sunderland, and Preston at home to Liverpool. And what's really interested me about this draw is that all the big teams pretty much have been kept apart. You've got Chelsea, Arsenal, Brentford, Man City, Leicester, Tottenham, QPR and Liverpool. I know a few teams I mentioned there is not exactly the biggest teams, but all of them have been kept apart in the draw. So like if the strongest teams all win, that is going to be the quarterfinals. And that's a pretty strong quarterfinals for a Carabao Cup.
Yeah. And except for Man United, they all managed to get through of the last round. I know Chelsea went to penalties, but everyone else went through pretty convincingly. So it's not going to be easy. And we all know that those top four teams, the reason why Liverpool, United, City and Chelsea, the reason why they're so heavily tipped is because how strong their squads are. And we've seen in the Carabao Cup that even though they made a lot of changes, they managed to, although the draws, they probably you could say easier draws than us, but you'd say that that their squads are literally they can field two teams, and that's why they're so hard to beat. And even if we play our first team against their second team, like we can probably win, but like it's always going to be a tough game. Whereas if we play our second team, we just get easily beaten.
Yeah,
that's the difference.
That's
we can't give a game, and they would give us a game.
Yeah. It's true. But in terms of Spurs' draw, you happy with Burnley away?
Yeah, I am. I think it's.
Would prefer Burnley at home.
Yeah, Burnley away is a bit annoying, but in terms of we should be favourites to win that, and it should be an opportunity to get to the quarter-final. Burnley rested a lot of players last time, whether they'll do the same next round remains to be seen. But even a full-strength Burnley, I think we should have enough with what we have to get through that tie if we take it seriously. So I think it's a good draw for us. When's it going to be played?
The week of the 25th. So I believe they've already scheduled us for the Tuesday. So I think we're playing on the 26th of
October.
Yeah, October.
So that is just before Man United at home. And
yeah,
just
but what's it after? Because it's a Tuesday game.
West Ham. What, Tuesday? That's not fair. We were playing on Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, I think I saw it on a Tuesday last night. Maybe it hasn't been scheduled properly yet.
We're playing on Sunday. We can't be Tuesday because then it's a one-day break.
They've done it to us before.
No, they wouldn't do that for no reason.
They've done it to us before.
Not for no reason.
Bastards, these people.
They haven't done it for no reason like that. Like they did it because it was pandemic. They're trying to fit all the fixtures in. This is different. There's no reason for us not to play on Wednesday.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, I just saw that. I thought it was scheduled last night, but I could be wrong. Maybe they just put it there just to for a filler or something.
They must have. I don't think they've selected the TV dates probably.
Yeah, you're probably right there. But anyway, that's when it is. It's probably going to be on the Wednesday. Let's be honest. In between West Ham and Man United. So
tough.
We're going to have to rest players that game, aren't we?
Yeah, depends what our injury situation is looking like. But yeah, we probably will. But you know what? We did rest a few players yesterday, and I must say, we did okay. I know we obviously gave away a 2-0 lead, but I think the players who came in, Ben Davis, I think did well. To be honest, it wasn't so much of a rested team, was it? But I thought.
A few players. Sonny didn't start.
Gil came in. Sorry,
didn't start.
But you look at who came in. If you look at players who started that game, Tanganga, you could say is a first team player. You wouldn't say he's a player like you've rested to bring in Tanganga. Then you got like Romero, Sanchez. You could say they're first team players, easy. Ndombele, Skipp, and Dele have played quite a bit this season. And then you got Kane. Who was our front three? Kane, Gil, and Lo Celso. Except for Gil, you could say Lo Celso and Kane. They could easily be in a starting 11.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't such a weak team.
No, it wasn't. But look, let's get on to the match review. Because we were there last night. Obviously, I thought the atmosphere from the fans were good yesterday. Spurs fans in full voice, the Wolves fans were in full voice, and it was a proper cup tie atmosphere last night. Toing and froing the game. Wolves were giving as good as they got. Tottenham were giving as good as they got, and the game was really going in waves last night, wasn't it?
Yeah. I think obviously for the beginning part of the game we were on top. Actually they scored against the run of play massively. I felt because it was 2-0 to us, and we were playing some really good football, pressing really well.
Yeah.
Wolves weren't really creating much, and then out of nothing, they get a goal from a corner, and that gave them a lot of momentum. You saw the crowd got lifted. The Wolves their mentality kind of completely changed at 2-1.
It was the home fans were dead up until they scored that goal, and then when they did score, it really gave the whole place a lift, didn't it?
That's the thing, and it would have been like plain sailing if we hadn't conceded from that corner, but. Let's just talk about the early part of the game. Like, Ndombele was brilliant. His dribbling ability was all full to see. I don't know how he kept that ball under control for the first goal as well when it was hit against him so hard. And he was able to just.
I don't know if you saw. I don't know if you saw that the ball ricocheted off him, but like he does that slight touch. I think it was with his leg. That slight touch just to keep it under control. The guy's close control is just insane.
That's what I'm saying.
It's
I
just
don't know how
insane.
He did it. I don't know how he did it. It was
insane.
incredible. So he did well to work hard, and obviously got in behind. Really good trick on volley as well, and good finish. And that was a good piece of skill. Spurs were very creative. They're looking energetic and sharp in their first opening exchanges.
Some nice quick touch passing, wasn't it?
Yeah, for Spain for the second goal. Yeah, Ndombele obviously with a bad pass, but Skipp, Lo Celso, Dele all link up very well to get Kane in behind, and it was great. He looked so sharp running away from Willy Bolly with that touch and finish as well. Looked like he had
that
goal,
that Kane goal, man, from start to finish. The way that Skipp won the ball back, that quick interplay. I can't remember who it was from. Who was the quick interplay? I think it was Dele Alli. Yeah, that was it. Lo Celso and Dele Alli. That through ball from Dele Alli. That touch from Kane to play himself through on goal as well. I mean, the whole goal oozed complete class yesterday, that second goal.
Yeah, and it was a great, I must say for Dele, it was a great ball from him into Kane in behind. I've got to give him credit for that. And look, Spurs were on top. And that goal, I thought the defending was pretty good throughout that first half. And that goal completely changed the momentum, like out of nowhere. You couldn't see Wolves getting back into it until that goal, and then once they got that goal, even at the end of the first half, they were looking really dangerous, and they looked like they could even have scored at the end of the first half.
I remember thinking to myself, or I might even said it to you, like when we knew there was going to be a lot added on for injury time at the end of that first half, and like there were 5 minutes to go of the normal time, and we thought, maybe there'll be 5 or 6 minutes, and there was. And I was just thinking to myself, look, we really need half time. We could do without this bloody stoppage time. And we looked ropey for those last 10 minutes of the first half, big time.
Yeah, and Wolves could have got. I remember they could have got for another set piece, could have got back in the game, and then second half, I think it was they brought on Adama. Obviously, he made an impact. I thought we dealt with him fairly well, but he still was always a danger, wasn't he? Whenever he was on the ball, beating players, and still, their second goal. As much as I don't think they created too much like proper chances, but we gave them that second goal pretty much.
We did, and Ndombele, as much as we like to say how well he played on the ball, he lets us down though. Gave away 2 goals yesterday. As much as he helped us yesterday in terms of scoring our goal, the attacking impetus he had in that first half, in the first 25 minutes, he gave them 2 goals, and it's just not good enough. It's really not good enough, and he lost his man for the header in the corner. And the first goal, he just completely lost the ball in the middle of the park, and you cannot lose it there.
Yeah,
you cannot lose it there.
Looking at that, obviously we saw in the stadium he was complaining about a foul. He wanted a foul. Looking at I've seen the footage again, and I don't think it is a foul. I think the guy pinches the ball off him. I think he gets the ball. I think he was complaining he was going through the back of him, but I think he gets the ball first before he actually makes contact. So I don't think it is a foul. I think Romero potentially could have done better with cutting out the pass as well.
The thing is, I'm not too sure about Romero because, maybe he could have done better if he positioned his body better, but I think he was wrong-footed and he was kind of stretched to try and get that ball.
Yeah, he should have better communication. I know he's been put under pressure by Ndombele, and then all of a sudden they're bearing down on goal, but they had 2 defenders. And I think he followed the ball too much, because if he would have stood off a bit, Sanchez had the other attacker. So I think he could have stood off and tried to, and been in a better position to intercept the pass. He kind of got wrong-footed, obviously. Look, it's not completely his fault, but I think if he looks back at it, he probably thinks I reckon he'll think he could have done a better job with it.
But they were saying, some people, I think. It was, but you know, like John was saying on the fan show last night how that goal was Romero's fault.
No,
I just don't get that. I don't get that. It was Ndombele's fault, that goal.
Yeah, doesn't happen if Ndombele. He had so many options. He could have played it back. He could have played it back to the keeper. He could have played out wide, and he just waited way too long. And I remember we could see it. With the ground, like Ndombele and Skipp were playing it around. And I was like, just release Ndombele, don't lose it. And then he goes and takes too long and lose it. And
he's so weak in the challenge, Ndombele. That's what really gets me, because he's a big lad. You know, he can have that physical presence in the middle of the park for us. He's just so weak in the challenge sometimes, and it just really annoys me, man. Really annoys me, because all the good work he does gets undone.
Yes and no. Because I think when because he's so creative on the ball, and he offers something that no one else is offering us. Like if he's not on the pitch, like we really struggle to open teams up.
We probably would have lost instead of drawn the game yesterday.
That's the thing. So I wouldn't say all his good work gets undone. I just think we need to manage how he is off the ball, and he's such an enigma, Ndombele, in terms of. Like some moments in the game, he looks completely on his feet and like he can barely move, and he's looking like he needs a Zimmer frame. And then the next moment, like he's on the ball and he's doing quick step overs and he's beating men and he's playing quick passes. And it's like, are you tired or not? I don't get it. I don't understand.
But it's weird because when he's going back the defensive way of the pitch, that's when he looks really tired. And then a second later, if he's going forward, he's at full pelt again.
Yeah.
I just don't understand. It's like he's got a mental block of going like backwards.
What do you think of the decision to keep him on 90 minutes?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it hindered us really. I think that obviously him going whenever he was doing his defensive work, he was, but I think he wasn't really doing that much defending for the last 20 minutes. And I thought that he gave us some dangerous moments in the box, even up until the last minute.
Just reading here, he had this is Nathan Clark on Twitter, like he's comparing Ndombele in the first and the second half. He said first half 63 touches, second half 23 touches. First half 5 attempted dribbles, second half 2 attempted dribbles, first half lost possession twice, second half lost possession 5 times. Yeah. So clearly he did start to wane in the second half.
Yeah, and you could see that. But
then Nuno obviously decided to. We all thought when Højbjerg was coming on, it was going to be for Tanguy, but he decided it was going to be Dele. Do you think maybe he's just forcing Ndombele to kind of look like? You have to start getting to grips with playing 90 minutes. We can't keep taking you off after 60, 70 minutes and all the time. Like there's got to be a point where you have to get through. You have to get that second wind. You have to go through that mental block.
Definitely push yourself. Go through the paces, man. And you know, me and you were having a chat last night in the car, and I said to you that, you know, why not pay it if we're going to force him to play 90 minutes, you know, play him as number 8 for the first half and play him as a number 10 for the second half, just so like if he does lose the ball and he's not tracking back too well, it doesn't matter that as much as it does if he's number 8, you know what I mean? Give him less defensive responsibilities in that second half, because it's just going to hinder the team.
Yeah, that's the truth. And that's what I feel with Tanguy. When he starts like huffing and puffing, he's like, you feel like they target him as a bit of a weakness as well, going the other way, like always trying to dribble past him and stuff. But he did it's not to say he didn't do any defensive work. He did do some defensive work yesterday, which was okay. But he needs to, if he's going to be a serious like a proper serious world class player, he can't have any of these. How do you call it? Where he basically can't have it both ways. You need to do the both ways of the job very, very well.
Yeah.
And he can't do that. He has to up his defensive game if he's going to go to that extra level.
Definitely. All right, let's move on from Ndombele, because, you know, how long can we go on? But
ages.
We can, I know, but, you know, we've got to put a stop at some point. Let's talk about some other players that played last night. Let's talk about Ollie Skipp, because I thought Ollie Skipp was absolutely brilliant last night. I really did. The way he dealt with Adama in that second half. You know, you won't see many players deal with Adama like that. You really won't. And for a player of his age to come in and to deal with him like that, I thought it was just absolutely unbelievable. He put in 3 or 4 challenges when Adama was at full pelt. Absolute strong challenges. I mean, it was brilliant to see. But there seems to be like this current trend with Ollie Skipp in terms of how he's playing, where the first 10-15 minutes he looks a bit ropey and he looks as though he's not going to have a good game, and then he really grows into the game and becomes one of our better players in the team. And that's exactly what happened last night. And I thought, when you look at the game as a whole, he was probably our best player on the pitch last night.
Yeah, I thought it was brilliant. Really came of age in terms of his assertiveness in the game. Like, wasn't bullied, wasn't overawed by any occasion. I thought, especially in the second half, I thought he was absolutely fantastic. He really was. Stopping, as you say, Adama in his tracks multiple occasions when they're on a counter-attack. Broke up the rhythm of Wolves' play on moments when they were on top and put us on the attack as well. Some of his passing, very impressive. Long-range cross-field passes onto wingers and fullbacks, especially a couple to Son, was really impressive. And I think, obviously, after being dropped or rested, whether you want to look at it against Chelsea, maybe he wanted to prove that he's one of those players you should never be looking to drop in one of these games. He has to be on the pitch. It seemed to be like he wanted to show what he's able to give to the team, and I think he really did show that yesterday. A lot of people have criticised, not a lot of people, but he's come under a bit of criticism for as part of the midfield, which has lacked creativity, which is true. But the truth is, for me anyway, for most of this season, like, for doing his job, I think he's done his job pretty well.
Yes.
I think he's done his job pretty well. Yeah, we've lacked creativity, and he's part of that problem. But in terms of what he's in the team for, I think he's doing a pretty good job.
Completely agree. Can't knock Skippy at the moment, I don't think. And another player I want to talk about is Bryan Gil. Obviously, his first start against Premier League opposition yesterday, and I think he passed with absolute flying colours. Really did. The way he was creating for us going forward, he was doing that dogged work, getting back and helping out the team defensively as well, especially on Adama. He was a bit lightweight at times, sometimes in the first half, but I thought, again, with like Skipp, I thought he also grew into the game. And that penalty he took in the penalty shootout, absolute brilliant. Nerves of steel for him, for a young player like that to come on, not to come on, but to take a penalty in your first start. I thought it was absolutely brilliant from Bryan Gil, and I think that's a very positive step in the right direction and great things to come from him. Yeah, I was really proud of Bryan Gil yesterday. I thought he did a really great job creatively. I thought he was actually a menace down that left-hand side. That he got in behind a few times, was able to get some cutbacks, some crosses into the box. Obviously, he wanted a bit more quality, but I thought that his ability to get into those positions was impressive. I thought his work rate, never non-stop running, was kind of all over the shop at some points in the second half, and getting a few tackles on Adama Traore as well for a young player was very impressive. And as you say, that penalty, the skip into the top corner, brilliant penalty. To do that in that age, in that kind of in that position, was fantastic from him. Showed real maturity, real composure. To put that, just to place that in the top corner, no doubt about it. He had no doubt in his mind that he was going to score that penalty. He seemed uber confident, didn't he? Mm-hmm. Running up for that ball, and I think hopefully that shows Nuno maybe that he is ready to contribute. Maybe, like, obviously you don't want to rely on him for goals and assists in the Premier League, but if you've got Kane and Son on the pitch, like, for example, like against Palace, like, based on the performance yesterday, there was no reason he couldn't have started against Palace. Yeah. Like, there was no reason. He could have easily started that game. Nuno just got it completely wrong against Palace. He just got it completely wrong. But what I like to see from Nuno, what I have liked to see from Nuno, is that since that game, he's only picked attacking lineups. It's true. The lineups have been a lot more offensive. And hopefully, do you think on Sunday he starts if Bergwijn and Lucas are out? It's basically a choice between Gil and Lo Celso, really, on that forward position. I mean, from what I saw yesterday, Gil gets in there for me. I think Gil would ask Arsenal a few more questions in the forward positions, and then obviously you've got Lo Celso to bring on. Lo Celso's not doing enough for me. I don't think he was terrible, but I don't think he did anything really. That's the thing. He's not terrible, but he's not doing enough. Yeah, he didn't really. He had some nice. I think
he did some good stuff when like knitting the play together as part of the team, like some good passing moves, as involved in the second goal, and it wasn't the only time he was doing that kind of stuff. But in terms of when you're playing someone right wing, right forward, in terms of getting crosses in the box, getting shots on goal, like real penetrative through balls, stuff like that, still not enough from Lo Celso.
I agree.
And again, he went off after an hour, showing his still lacking a bit of fitness for Lo Celso, which everyone talks about Ndombele's fitness, but Lo Celso never seems lately to last more than an hour, even for Argentina. So that's something.
But the thing is, the difference between them two is like Ndombele, you can clearly see the fitness waning in the game, and he's going from 100 miles an hour to hardly being able to track a runner. When Lo Celso, you don't really see it like on the eye test like that too much.
Yeah.
Just because of the nature of the players.
That's the truth. But so that's why I would start Gil, because I think it gives us something else for Arsenal to think about. If on the in the forward line, a bit more pace, a bit more creativity, and also he works really hard. So you got no problem when you put Gil in that he's going to be a liability off the ball. I think he's going to be a boundless amounts of energy, like making tackles for you, and the only worry is maybe he gets a bit bullied because he's still got a slight frame. And a few times yesterday you could see he gets knocked off the ball quite easily, and that's something he's got to work on. But I still think on Sunday, if Lucas and Bergwijn are both injured, I would seriously consider starting him if I was Nuno.
What was your opinion after the game yesterday like? Because obviously there were some good moments in there, some bad moments. I mean, did you leave there? Obviously we won on penalties and there was a good feeling after that. But did you leave that stadium kind of feeling positive about that performance, or were you what were you feeling about that performance?
I think we were the better team overall. I do think we're the better team overall. I think we created the better chances, as much as Wolves definitely got back in the game and it wasn't a massive shock when they equalised. I think overall, when you assess the game, I think we were able to get the ball down and play and attack Wolves. I think we probably played the better football and created the better chances. So I would say overall, I was content with the direction the team is going. Still needs a lot of work, clearly. Definitely not infallible, that's for all to see. And there's a lot of things for Nuno to improve on for everyone. But I'm encouraged by that we're improving our ability on the ball to create chances, and we're improving our quality, and we're a lot better to watch of past since Palace. We're getting a bit more easier to watch since Ndombele's come into the team, and so I think that's a good direction. And as Nuno said, there's a lot of imbalance in the fitness, and I think you can see that some players are a lot fitter than others in the team. Could, like, for example, comparing someone like Bryan Gil to Lo Celso, like, just there's a big difference in fitness. So I think that once we get acclimatised, everyone gets on board, similar level fitness, I think the sustainability of the performances are going to improve, I'm hoping, once the whole squad is up to a certain level. So I'm encouraged, but still need a lot of work. And obviously, with every good thing at the moment is coming a bad thing as well. And we're starting games well. Before we were starting games poorly, good second halves. Now we're starting games well, and poor second halves. So it's a balancing act, I guess, for Nuno to try and get it right. But I really believe the quality we have in the squad, like I think people underestimate how much quality we have. I really do. And if we can just slow down as maybe people fear we will be. I think yesterday we didn't really mention, he got a great cross for Gil's chance. Maybe people who were raving about his performance were right in terms of how well he did.
Do you think with Dele Alli last night, because when we were watching the game, we couldn't see, we didn't think he had such a great, a lot of his good work goes unnoticed?
Yeah, potentially. I think the big difference yesterday is that he was able to contribute in the forward areas a lot more than he had been previously. I think he was doing some, and maybe not many shots, but he was definitely getting some good passes and good through balls.
He created two key moments yesterday: that through ball for Harry Kane and that cross in that Bryan Gil could have got at the back post.
Should have had two. So I think he's doing some good stuff yesterday. Like, he did more than yesterday than he'd done against Chelsea and against Palace probably put together. So I think when he came in for criticism in those games, it just him wasn't seen enough. It was in the final third. We know how good he can be in the final third and what he can contribute. No, it doesn't.
It does.
No,
And
it
that says
doesn't.
poor. No, we're still live.
Are we live, guys? I can't see. I don't know. Okay, we're back up. All right. Yeah, I think Dele had a good game. So I think in the end you got to be happy with his performance, and probably after it came under a bit of criticism, that probably earns him another start against Arsenal.
Need to end the stream at 12, but let me go through a super chat first. It's from Bob Spur TV. He says Romero has looked comfortable and good at times, but I can't wait to have a Dyer Sanchez partnership back. Who would have thought? Big up, legends. I disagree with that one, actually. I'm looking forward to see Romero be a constant fixture in this defence. I really am.
Yeah.
I think that the signs are really good there in terms of the quality he brings to the team, and I actually thought, when you compare the two centre-backs like the back, and he was the much more aggressive of the two as well, getting in front of the strikers and stuff like that. So I'm looking forward to Romero partnering a Sanchez or a Dyer, and I think that's what it's going to be in the derby this weekend. I think it might be Romero and Dyer this weekend.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting because he's got choices to make in terms of the centre-back positions. But I liked what I saw from Romero, despite the potential... with the second goal. I actually think his aggressiveness, his ability to get in front of defenders, and the amount of times he steps in front of the defender and gets his foot on the ball and gets a challenge, it's so important doing that, because every time he does that, it's another potential attack where usually the attacker can hold off the centre back or turn and get a pass or a shot. He's just preventing that from happening at source, and I think it's really impressive. And I think in the air as well, he was pretty good. Up against their strikers, he was pretty dominant, and apart from that one moment, I actually think he had a pretty good game. So
yeah, I agree.
And his passing as well. His passing surprised me. I think he made some really good passes into Kane and into Sonny as well. And he also, one thing I noticed is when with Romero, a bit like similar to Toby, when he makes a clearance. Unlike someone like Sanchez, he wants, like when he makes a headed clearance or something like that, he wants to head it towards a Tottenham player. He aims it. He aims his clearances, and I think that's the extra bit of quality that you pay for, really, when you spend that amount of money. Like someone who can actually, win an aerial duel, but not just win it, but actually place his header so that Tottenham can get back on the front foot and in the attack. And look, he's still got things to improve on, Romero, but I think the early signs are good, and I think. Would I start him on Sunday? Probably. I think I would start him on Sunday.
I would. I would have him as a constant fixture in the team now, seeing as he's back and fit. I mean, and if he's going to go to this international break, we need to get as much use of him as possible, to be honest. But look, let's start bringing on some guests. We've got 450 people watching with us, only 91 likes. Everyone scroll down and smash that like button, smash that subscribe button, and let's get Sylvester on. How are you, Sylvester?
Good, brother. How are you?
Yeah, good, thank you. Good, thank you. It was good to win last night on penalties. I mean, it was probably one of the easiest penalty shootouts I've seen as a Tottenham Hotspur fan. I know we had a good one last year against Chelsea, but what quality penalties we took last night, Højbjerg's aside.
To be fair, last night I didn't watch the game in the first half. So I was so frustrated with Sunday's results. I just didn't feel like watching it yesterday because of the style of play. And around 57 minutes, I put it on, and I saw it was 2-1. As soon as I put it on, I think 2 minutes later they scored. I was like,
I see. So you're the bad luck charm. Is that right? You're the bad luck charm.
That's what I thought. I was going to put it off, but I said no. I didn't want to put it off, so I kept on watching. And when I went to penalties, I had a good feeling about it. But as you know, I was not sure about. But it was a good penalty, and especially Gil and Reguilon.
From what you saw last night, from 57 minutes onwards, I mean, what did you make out of the performance?
I enjoyed it. I really did.
What did you enjoy most about it?
The attacking style of football. Our team we were going for the game. We were not sitting back or letting them press. If you remember the first game against Wolves in the league, all we did was sat back. We gave it a go this time, a proper go. In that game, we got dominated. We got lucky with the goal and with the win. But this was a good game.
Who
So
really impressed you while you were on the pit? What you were able to see? Who really impressed you?
Oliver Skipp, Bryan Gil, and Romero.
yeah,
Of course,
I thought all three of them were brilliant. But sorry, what were you about to say?
no, I just feel like Oliver Skipp is a brave kid, a really brave kid. Puts his body on the line every single time, not worried about an injury to occur or anything. He puts his body on the line, plays like a true Tottenham boy.
Yeah,
I really
completely
enjoy
agree.
watching that.
Completely
I
agree.
really do.
In terms
But
of the kind of style of play, you said you were happy with the attacking football on show yesterday. I mean, are you thinking, because we've had a very much not such a attacking start to the season. Do you think signs are good in terms of how we move on into this season now?
I really do. Even the Chelsea, the first half, I was surprised. I really enjoyed that game. I I I thought we would go in the second, give it a proper go in the second half, but I don't know what happened. Seen us really giving it a go. And that seems good. I don't mind losing, but I like to see us playing proper football and giving it a go.
Exactly. To
And
dare is
just
to do.
I just heard your brother saying something back regarding Dele Alli. The attack of us, I feel like there's always a part of him that he takes long to think before he can make a decision. Yesterday he played a good ball to Kane, but other than that, I always find him.
Definitely the case sometimes. But yesterday in the game, plays that ball, like you say, through to Harry Kane. There's another moment in the game where he crosses the ball, pinpoint to Bryan Gil, who really should have scored. And the stats he was providing throughout the game defensively as well were brilliant. So,
I just every time I think about Dali Ali, there's only one player I like to compare him with, and that's someone of his age kind is Jesse Lingard. If you look at Jesse Lingard playing, there's always an energy about him. There's always he's always moving forward, moving fast. If you see them both in their careers, both have had a bad career, but Jesse Lingard is starting to pick his career back up. But Dali Ali doesn't seem to be doing that. He does it in a game here and 3 games later there, but it's not a regular basis for Dali Ali. If you know what I mean.
yeah, look, I get what you're saying, but I think that I know we keep saying this about Dele Alli, that we need to have patience or what have you, but I think
Oh,
that
not after. How many years is here now?
I know we're saying it's been many years now, but at the end of the day, we're under a new regime now with Nuno. Dele, he's been putting into a brand new position as well, and he's trying to reinvent himself, kind of almost, Dele Alli. So I think that we do need to have a renewed patience, a new found patience with Dele Alli. And I think that me and my brother, we did a video from the Good Morning Tottenham a few days ago, laying into Dele Alli a bit, and I think that on reflection, that was probably a bit too harsh on Dele, and I think that we do need to have a renewed sense of patience with him.
When I did see a preseason, I think it was after the season finished. He went out. People were on holidays, and he was some place in Dubai, I guess, or in the Middle East, posting pictures regarding. And I was really impressed. I thought like the boy is putting his fitness back to top gear to hit a good season. But then when the season started, he's doing a lot of running around while he's doing the hard yards for the team. But there are certain parts where every time you give him the ball, you don't expect much from Dali Ali anymore when you give him the ball. There was a time when every time he got the ball, you expected something to happen. It's become like things are going to slow down every time Dali Ali gets the ball in the attacking area.
Mm.
Yeah, I guess, but he's still, as my brother said, he's still learning a new position. So if he if he can do what he did yesterday and create the chances he did, while also having that work ethic that he's kind of developing in the centre of the park, that's all we want, really. We want him to marry both of them. And
What?
yesterday was a
To
step
be
in the right
honest,
direction for Delhi, I think.
you know what I believe? I believe Dali Ali plays best when he's little bit, he's into a fight with somebody or he's got into someone's face, and that's when you see the best of Dali Ali. He stopped being that player where getting into an argument,
Yeah.
pushing somebody, trying to clip them. That's when you see the best. He doesn't do that anymore. And when he does that, he's a different player. He starts believing in himself to make things happen after that. So let's hope he gets his full confidence back.
Yeah,
But what's your plan now? What's your thought on the North London derby?
we're going to do him. Of course, we're going to do him. We're Tottenham Hotspur, but we need a win at the Emirates. We really do. And I think that if we play if we play like we have done first half against Chelsea, and I think even if we play like the way we did last night, I think we'll get the beating of them. I really believe that.
I was really bantering my Arsenal friend when we were 9 points and there was zero.
Yeah, I mean, it's never probably a clever idea to banter so early on in the season about points.
No, I thought I just had a feeling like they'll not catch us up anytime soon. I didn't know after the international break they were going to catch us up so soon. Let's hope. Let's hope.
Yeah, let's
But
hope for 3 points.
what do you think about Nuno now? Right now, after these 5 games, what do you say? Like, are you happy with the appointment? How
Yeah,
you look?
I'm
Are you
not
enjoying
gonna.
life with Nuno, under Nuno?
I think it's been a hard start. I think the first 3 games, obviously, we weren't playing great football bar that Man City game, but we were getting the job done. Since then, everything and anything has gone wrong for us in terms of players quarantining and injuries and what have you. It's been literally non-stop since then. So it's hard to really gauge. But what I like about Nuno is that he's always trying to find solutions. He's always trying to change things. Not within the game. I think his
I like
in-game
his
management.
positivity.
I think
He's
his
very
in-game.
positive.
Yeah, I get that, but I think his in-game management can do a bit of work. But I think that in terms of the starting lineups and how he's setting us up, I think he's always improving and always looking to find solutions. And I think that we've criticised him for being too defensive, and he's trying to change that. So I give him credit for that.
And just to, on transfer deadline day, when I came up, you asked me what was the transfer rating, and I said 6 or 7. But boy, after seeing Emerson Royal for 3 games, I'm really disappointed. I feel like there's an Oreo vibe in him right there. I don't know. I saw his clips. He was taking on people on clips on his YouTube clips, but I didn't see him taking on one person as of yet for all the games he
Patience,
played.
Sylvester. Patience.
It's
I'm
only a
just hoping
couple of
that.
games. Couple of games. Come on.
Yeah, but you can a couple of, I get that what you're saying, but there's a bad vibe, and I don't want to get too
The,
deep into it, but I don't like the look of it. I think Tangana would be better. I really prefer him more than Emerson right now.
Look, the way you got to look at it is Tanganga has grown up with the English game. He's grown up watching the English game. He's grown up in the Premier League. He's grown up coming through the ranks at Tottenham. He feels very at home at Tottenham. He's a Tottenham boy, and he's settled in. Maybe a couple of years ago now. Emerson Royale. It was a last-minute move to Tottenham. He was concentrated on a career at Barcelona. He's at Tottenham now. He's never played in the Premier League before. He doesn't even speak English. He's not settled into the country yet. It's going to be tough for him,
No, the only reason I say that because we were supposed to go to for the guy from Arsenal, right? Tomiyasu.
Tomiyasu, yeah.
Yeah, and I did watch his play. I've been watching him as well playing, and that guy is really good. I've been really impressed. He's played some good teams, like physical teams in Burnley, and he's really put in a good performance and shift over there. So that's the only. And we have also played decent teams, and Emerson is not really convinced me even compared to what he's done, Tomiyasu. So my only problem is I don't want to regret later on that Tottenham made the wrong decision in letting go Tomiyasu. You know what I mean?
I know what you're saying. And Tomiyasu has been impressive, but I think, we just need a bit of patience. We need
Yeah,
a bit
but
of
Emerson played
patience.
Chelsea. You know what I mean? They're playing Burnley and Norwich. It's
Yeah.
pretty different, isn't it?
And I think that first half, Emerson did all right against Chelsea.
We are coming to Norton and Derby. We'll get a picture of both. Hopefully, both of them start. I guess. I'm
Yeah.
not because is Tangana suspended for 3 games?
No, one game.
No, he's back.
He's back,
He would
yeah.
have been suspended last night if he was suspended for 3 games. So
Okay.
It's because it was 2 double
Great,
yellow. So, yeah, it should be all right. All right,
Great.
Sylvester.
We'll catch up before the Dortmund and Derby.
all
Looking
right.
forward to it, mate.
Thanks for coming on, mate, and we'll speak soon.
Nice to see you.
Take care, mate. God
You
bless.
too.
Cheers, mate.
Come on.
Bye bye. Let's keep going. Let's get on Adam William Cahill. Adam, how you doing, my friend? We saw you as we were driving back last night on the fan show with John and Brian. You look like you were enjoying yourself. How are you doing today? I can't hear you. I think you're on mute.
You muted?
Yeah, can you hear me okay now?
There you go. That's
Yeah,
better.
that's better. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, no, it was good talking to John and Brian last night. Obviously, the adrenaline was up when you're sitting at a penalty shootout. I mean, for us, it was exciting. I can't imagine what it was like for you being there. But yeah, no, it was obviously as I said to them last night. I feel it was bittersweet in one sense, but at least we came away with the win. So that's the most important thing.
Oh, someone listening. I can.
Who's
sorry, I can
Who's
hear
listening to expressions? I can hear expressions in the background.
that. I'm sorry. Yeah, you can mute the other people in the back end. Anyway,
Can you mute the people in the
yeah,
background?
Adam. In terms of yesterday, we obviously we heard what you had to say, but when you look at about the selections on Sunday, did anyone play their way into the team, into the selection for Sunday? Do you think?
Well, it really depends. Like, I think as Ben was saying, like the thing about Nuno at the minute is he seems to be trying an awful lot of different things. So it's very difficult to know what kind of formation that he's going to go with. And in that case, it's always hard to kind of go, okay, which players should fit in, because it all comes down to the formation at the end of the day. But what I will say is I'm more excited about Ndombele than a lot of fans seem to be at the minute. I'm in a lot of Spurs supporters groups and they're all commenting saying, get rid of him, he's useless, he's trash. And I'm like, guys, in all seriousness, he played tremendously well yesterday, and there were a couple of kind of freak incidents. I don't really put all of the blame on Ndombele for. First of all, he shouldn't really be defending in that position for the corner. Okay, so I mean that Nuno needs to work that out, because the same thing happened with Dele Alli previously. So it's not. I wouldn't put that on Ndombele, to be honest. And then anybody can slip. Anybody can slip up and have one bad moment, and yeah, it ended up leading to a goal. But at the same time, you have Sanchez and Romero, who could have done a much better job in that instance. I'm sorry, but I think that they have to share the blame. So I think Ndombele is earning his place for sure.
The thing is, Adam, I get what you're saying, but you can't be losing the ball there. You can't be so weak in the middle of the park there. And if you are going to be that weak, you ultimately, all your good work, you're going to become a liability, and you're going to cost us goals after goals after goals if you're that weak in that area of the pitch.
Yeah, but I don't again, I think it was a freak thing. It's not as though he tried something stupid or he tried to run into somebody and he got dispossessed. He fell over. You know what I mean? It was something that I think was a complete freak thing. You don't see that happening with Ndombele very often. What you do see is him having complete and utter control of the ball, to the point where he's one of our only ball carrying midfielders who can get that ball up into the latter third of the pitch. So I think that he needs to be given some slack for that. The same way that we're giving Emerson slack for not having a good first few games, and he needs to develop in the Premier League. Ndombele just needs to get match fitness again, because we can see that he'd been struggling up until yesterday. Thank God he got 90 minutes into him yesterday, but I'm really excited to see him performing now. Will the vicious cycle happen again, where it's like he wants out of the team, then he gets stuck in the team, then he decides he wants to play for the team, and then he eventually wants to go again because he gets too big for his britches? Who knows? But while we have him, let's use him and use him to the best of his ability, because he is an incredible talent. I also think, as I was saying to the guys last night, the amount of hope that I have for the future of Spurs, because of the young players that are doing so well, and that is our future. When you look at Bryan Gil, you look at Reguilon, you look at Skipp. I mean, once we eventually do, we probably will end up losing Kane, but with that money, we'll fill in a few other key areas. We need a central attacking midfielder. There's that. I think he's a Norwegian guy that we've been looking at, Christian Thorseft. They call him the Christian Viking. I mean, get someone, and he's a young lad. Get someone like that in. He said he's desperate to play for Tottenham. He loves Spurs. Kessie is another one that we're being linked with, even for January. So, I mean, I have more hope for the future than I have for the current squad. I said to you guys before the season started that I was thinking that we're perfectly capable of getting 5th place and a trophy. My hopes are a little bit kind of on the more negative side now where that's concerned, but I still think that the people who are like, there's a lot of people out there saying Tottenham are heading for relegation fast, and these are Spurs fans, and I'm like, guys, you have got to cop on, because
relegation.
Yeah, relegation. I can't believe Spurs fans are saying that. I really can't.
Nah,
so
come on, we're not going.
I haven't heard that one before.
Oh man, you want to be in some of the Spurs supporters groups on Facebook? It's absolutely lethal. I think we have some of the worst supporters going. I'm sorry, guys. I know it's Spurs fans listening. I'm not talking about all of you, but there's a lot of negativity in the groups. But I think that there's a lot, like what we saw. I think you guys were saying that Skipp did a tremendous job against Adama Traore. That's true, but I think Bryan Gil is the one who deserves the award for that, because he had him in his pocket, man. That was absolutely
he really did.
Amazing.
He really did.
The size of Adama Traore, and then like little Hill, you know what I mean? And he's taking care of him. It was amazing.
He wasn't expecting that, was he, Adama?
No, not at all. Not from someone that size. But he was just like, it was just pure passion, pure grit, and he's like, yeah, I'm taking care of this, and he did it, and it was tremendous.
Do you start Hill on Sunday?
He deserves a spot on Sunday.
Yeah, there you go. You answered my question.
Yeah,
brilliant.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think Ndombele and Hill, like I think they are, like whenever they play, I'm like, they should be. For me, I would love to see Son move into the central striker position and have Hill out on the left. And I do think we need. I said this to you guys as well before at one stage. We need another right winger. I don't think Bergwijn's going to do it. I don't think Moura should be playing there as like our number one. I think we need another right winger, to be honest. But for the moment, I'd have Moura there.
You're
Son
not
playing
part of the
central
Mora
mid.
sexual fan club.
I love Moura. Moura will always have a special place in my heart for what he did in the Champions League semi-final. Like, you know, that is an epic Spurs moment that will stand the test of time. I just think that he's 50-50, and in extremes. He 50% of the time he comes on and he's the best player on the pitch, and then 50% of the time he's absolutely anonymous. So
Yep.
like, losing balls left, right, and center. But he does give life to the team. Whenever we look like we're sitting back and we're a little bit shell shocked, Moura is the one that's like, no, come on, guys, lightning, let's get forward, let's get forward. So you got to give that to him.
Definitely. His mentality definitely is brilliant. One player I want to talk to you about who's come under a lot of criticism this season, Harry Kane. You know, people are accusing him of not looking interested, including myself, not putting enough effort in for the team. What did you make out of his performance yesterday?
Yeah, I still feel the same, to be honest. I mean, when you score goals, it's kind of hard to hold a spotlight on you for any negative reason. But I still think like that's Kane. In the first half, we were playing against a Wolves team that were at about 75-80%. They didn't have all their best players on the pitch. And when you've got, Kane has the talent that he's got, he's going to put them kinds of goals away when he's one-on-one with the keeper. But even saying that, I think that there's an aspect of him that I've seen so far, unless it's him just trying to get his fitness up or something, that he's not giving it his all. And maybe whether it's kind of him reserving himself. But then again, there was a moment last night where he went in for a tackle where I thought, okay, well, that was risky, and he still did it. So I think it remains to be seen. I think with Kane and with Nuno, I think it's a case of a huge question mark over the two of them. And we'll see. There's no reason to be positive or negative right now. We'll see where we are by Christmas, by March, and then we'll have it. We'll obviously know by then. But with Nuno, I think Ben, you're completely right again when you're saying that his actual management of the team during the game has been fairly poor, and then the fact that like his approach to the Crystal Palace game, playing ridiculously defensively. The team that played Chelsea is the team that should have played Crystal Palace, and we would have brought it to them then, and I have no doubt we would have won that game. So, there are things that we're looking at, kind of going there. The thing is, I know that Nuno knows that as well. I can see it in him that he knows that not only do the players need to improve, he needs to get things sorted out. And then it's the same thing with Kane. It's like at the moment there are some things that he's doing that are questionable. He's also performing. He's also scoring goals finally. So it's a case of it's a wait and see job, I think.
All right, Adam.
Nice one, Adam.
Always a pleasure, my friend. Great comments as always, and we shall see you soon.
Absolutely. Sonny, 2 goals against Arsenal, by the way. Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs. That's what I want to hear. Come on. Thanks for calling again, mate. That is Adam. Let's keep going. Let's bring on, I think, probably our last caller of the day, which is going to be Brains McLeod.
Yes,
how you doing, Brains?
What's up, lads?
All good. I mean, smiles on our faces. We're through to the next round of the cup.
Your stream was lagging worse than Ndombele in the second half last night. I thought it was pretty good. Like, it was nice to see Ndombele kind of like just kind of in beast mode in the first half. But I just think it's a position thing as well with him. Is like, don't play him in a defensive midfield role. Like he is that person who's going to take chances, and that's cool in the attacking third. If he's doing something crazy and he loses the ball, we're like, look what he was trying to do. But if he Dele Alli is on the ball in the back, it's a problem. He definitely, that's crazy thing. Even John did it. Like, we want Tanguy to be feeling good. We really do want him to kind of get into his best. So there is a bit of things from fans when they're like, kind of like, no, it's not his fault. It's not his fault. They kind of like try to protect him and stuff. And John was doing that as well on the stream. But it's like you got to call it what it is. He fell over and it was a 1 in a million, like what dude was saying there. It's like, dude, he got caught with the ball. He waited too long. He had 3 players coming on. He must have been getting shouts of man on. He just got caught on the ball. he slipped on a banana peel.
I thought he had time to get rid of it. I thought he had time to pass it off. I thought so. We were in the ground. I remember me and Ben at that moment. I was like to Ben, like, "Oh, just get rid of it. Like, release it, release it, release it." And he didn't release it, and then he got caught.
It was incredibly poor. It was incredibly poor.
He looked like Raheem Sterling on the ball there. It was like, you're like, pass the ball, pass, pass the fucking ball. Like, and it's just straight up he got caught. I thought at first the dude came in round the back, which is obviously a tackle from behind, but, you know, he just shouldn't get caught. He had 3 players coming on him. He had 2 defenders that he could have seen for an easy pass out. He just got caught. It's his fault. The goal's his fault. You can't then, when Romero is moving forward and he's expecting either a pass or for this great player to distribute the ball, you can't then blame him for that, like being caught. Like, oh shit, you know, like now we got 3 players attacking us. To blame Romero when it's 3-on-2, that's crazy.
I agree with you, Blaines. But what I would say is, I think if Romero looks back at that, he'll probably think he could have done better with the situation.
He could have done better, yeah.
But I wouldn't put the blame on him for the goal. I completely agree with you, and that's why I don't get when people say it was his fault.
That's absolutely spot on, and I don't get the kind of criticism Romero's coming under today and after the game yesterday, because I thought actually he had a really good game yesterday, Romero.
Yeah, I thought he did as well, and I think FIFA were harsh on his passing ratings as well, because he's a great passer of the ball. I think he's quite calm and composed on the ball.
Yeah.
So yeah, I didn't think he was a problem. I actually like the look of Romero, and I think Dyer and Santos is a good partnership. I want to see maybe in the kind of Euro trash shit league no one wants to be in. I want to see Rodon get time in that, just to build him up as a partnership with someone, you know. So I think the defense is not really a problem. I think the defense is one of our kind of like happy places. My happy place. Think of your happy place. I think it's a positive, the defense.
Yeah, but in terms of the impressive performance yesterday, you had the likes of Ollie Skipp coming in and doing a great performance. Bryan Gil also playing for 90 minutes and having boundless energy. In terms of Sunday, when you look at those 2 players, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, no, I would start with Gil. I'm a Bryan Giliever all day long. I would start with Gil. I wouldn't do some crazy thing and have. I would have him as a invert winger. Start him on the right. That's really cool. He can come in that crazy left foot, and he may actually score some like Bale-esque type goals. So I'd have him there, and I'd have Ndombele as the cam behind Kane. I'd have him there, and if as soon as he starts to look like he's waning, boom, bring Dele on in his natural position. You know, so. The problem with having players like Lo Celso is like Lo Celso has gone missing so much. I'm pretty much expecting to open up the fridge and see his face on a fucking milk carton. That's what I'm expecting. He goes missing a lot. You know what I mean? And it's because he's not in his position either. He is an 8 or a 10. You know, so having him on the wing is no good for him either. So you're looking at Dele last night at times being in the 8, kind of being a bit out of touch. And then Lo Celso being out of touch, it's like, you know, bloop, bloop, swap them. Dele in an attacking place now. He doesn't have to do too much crazy things back. Just focus on attack, and then let Gio get in amongst the play. Like there is a lot of harshness on Gio as well. Like, and I'm number one being harsh on him, but it's like he does need a bit of time to get in amongst the play. He is one of those gritty players. Like, but I still would say that you start with Skipp. You have Højbjerg Skipp in the double pivot, and you have Ndombele in the attacking third. You know, pick up the ball at halfway line and go at them. I think that then you're looking at what he can do with Kane, Son, and Gil. That to me is that diamond is a pure gem. Take that to the bank for sure.
I mean, your song for Gil made me think of the lyrics for it. So it's got to go like. And I saw that pen. Now I'm a Giliever.
That pen was incredible. I was so worried. I was like, oh, this young kid now, you know, like, geez, like this is a big moment, you know. And then just little shimmy, bang, top corner. Like, wow, like that's what I was saying about the confidence of the kid. You know, he's got confidence, and once that confidence gets like energized by maybe a goal, that
and
kid,
also,
he's
And also,
doing
you got to
something.
look about how much he did off the ball as well, tackles on Adama Traore and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
you got to think, even if you put him in, because sometimes when you these attacking players, like when you put him in and stuff, there's a fear that maybe there'll be a liability off the ball or stuff, or they weren't putting the hard yards. But with Gil, you just get the feeling he can run for 90 minutes, can't you? He's got boundless amounts of energy, and he works so hard for the team as well.
Yeah, and one of the things that was really impressive, like at the halfway line, Adama got the ball, and Gil just like rushed down, risked getting his eyes covered in baby oil. His hair was looking slicker after the tackle. Couldn't believe the amount of baby oil that Adama had in his arms. Like, what is that guy's problem? Like, his arms looked like a boxer's face, you know, when they put all the oil all over it so the punches slip off. But Adama kind of like muscled him off, and then he kind of got back in front of Adama. Then Adama muscled him off again and went past him, but then he won the ball. It's like that right there. That is strong. People are saying he's like, oh, he's nothing. He's too thin. He's too light. Like, that is strong. That is strength, and it's also the determination that we want to see from young players. That's really impressive. Him and Skipp were incredible. The way, like, we've really got Adama's game covered. Like, Tanganga had him in the first time we played them, and now Skipp and Gil had him in the second. So I think that even Davies was good. He was all right. I mean, he wasn't good, but he like, you see Davies on the lineup, and you're like, oh god, here we go.
There was that one
But
interception,
right.
wasn't there, in the last 5 minutes of the game from Ben Davis that really impressed me.
Yeah. You know, the one thing that kind of blows my mind, and we would have saved 2 goals this season already, and I don't understand what's happened to this defensive strategy, but why do we not have 2 smaller players, 2 kind of creative players or whatever, not big defending players? Why don't we have 2 players on the posts? What happened to that strategy?
Yeah, I don't know. People don't do that anymore. I don't know why. You never see players on the post anymore, barely, at corners.
Yeah, you have Tanganga, or not Tanganga, he's really good in the air, but you have Tanguy on the back post, and that Dendoncker goal doesn't happen. Same with the goal against Chelsea. Those goals just don't happen. You know, so they're not doing anything in the box. They're not going to defend strong aerial players. So put them on the goal line. You know, if you really want to stop, you know, if you're really bad at defending corners and your players, you're mismatching players. Nuno's not putting, you know, I don't know, before the game, you're like, okay, you know, Silva's height, you know, Dendonka's height, you know, like, you know, these players, match them for height and aerial ability. Don't put them against. Why is Ndombele in that position? Like, that's bad management, not really his fault. I mean, he doesn't do anything, but he's not a defensive header of the ball. So
he went with his leg.
He tried to header it. He tried to header it with his foot.
Yeah.
What's going on?
I thought it was so silly, but look, given the past, obviously we got beat 3-0 by Chelsea, but you know, first half we looked a bit more pressing, a bit more like attacking, and yesterday we played some nice football. Is it making you a bit more confident going to Sunday, or are you still quite wary of what's going to happen?
Yeah, no, I think we needed that positive bounce of that game. Like we said, it was going to be penalties, and even at 2-0, I was saying to friends, I was like, yeah, it's going to be penalties. You know, we were all laughing, and it was like, there you go, another one. Yeah, there you go, pens. You know, but the way we came through it, it takes a bit of confidence in Steely Reserve to come through a penalty shootout. So that is another big bang. You know, they would have went in the dressing room and they would have been happy. Højbjerg was probably having to be stopped slitting his wrist, but he's the one guy you think's never going to miss a pen, and he misses a pen. But it's good to take that in. I think it was promising. People knocking on Kane still is just insane to me, because I think he did a lot of good stuff. Nutmegs, I think he held the ball well, nice passing movements, and then. And also Dele's ball to Kane, first touch, ball coming at him fast, boom, first touch right into the right spot for Kane to take it, took it on such a brilliant turn and hammered it bottom corner. That there is a player on form. Everything that happened there with Kane looks like a player on form. So
goal
I think
was
that's
beautiful,
amazing.
man. That goal was from start to finish. That Skipp challenge, the nice little intertrain between Lo Celso and Dele, that through ball to Dele, and the way Kane took that was just, the whole thing was so nice to watch, wasn't it?
And we need all those little moments, because all those little moments, like Dele getting that assist, is big for him. Even Lo Celso being inside that play, like, it shows us that we can play phenomenal football. It doesn't matter who the defenders were there. That pass would have split anyone in half. That is so. I think we got to give credit where it's due. We also have to give disrespect where it's due, but I think that was enough for me in that first half, and Ndombele playing the way he was, just to understand that this is a strategic and structural issue that we're having. Not having enough time, understanding where players play best, understanding the kind of the nice movements that we can. I'll tell you what, the one thing I really want to happen, and obviously, I do support England when they play in tournaments, and and I obviously wanted them to win. I've kind of been watching England since '90.
I think you must be the first Scot that I've ever heard say that.
Look, I was in the bar singing anti-England songs across the bar for the Scotland game, which turned out pretty good. We won the Euro in my opinion.
You won 0-0, yeah, a 0-0 win.
Yeah, we won 0-0. And then Billy Gilmore took 2 of your players out, and I was like, oh, but then I'm a fan for England. I'm like, oh, why are they out? But yeah, it's a weird one. But I do support England. But the thing is, I cannot stand how easy the opponents are for England's groups. I think it screws England up when they go into competitions, because they always get such easy opponents, so you never really see how good the team is. And so for this international break, I would just say, please leave Kane out. It's one position. He doesn't have to be there. Ivan Toney needs to get games for England, because he is the natural kind of replacement if you never need a replacement. He is the guy. He is not a Bamford. He's not a Calvert-Lewin. He's not a Watkins. He's not a player who's going to come on and maybe I'll do all right. He's going to beast mode. He is a phenomenal player. If Kane wasn't there and he was in the prime longer, he would be England's striker. So give players like that a chance. And Harry doesn't need to be there. You're playing Andorra or fucking Faro, Marino, who the fuck you're playing? Like, it's just they just do not. It's like work on like really tight. That international break should be seen as a bit of a weird one, but I do want to say, because